And welcome to the 404 show live from CES 2012. My name is Jeff Bacalar.
I'm Wilson Tang.
And I'm Justin Yu, and this is the show where we put it all on black.
That is correct. That's how I lose a lot of money, but we're very happy to be here, streaming live from CES 2012. Guys, how are you enjoying the show so far?
Well, it's officially started today.
It has.
Yesterday was a lot of press conferences going on, a lot of strangeness at press conferences.
A lot of kangaroos.
A lot of kangaroos, and
Yeah.
apparently that's going to get people buying DVRs.
Yeah.
I never put two and two together, but it's brilliant.
It's the first thing I think of.
We talked about laptop manufacturers making TVs.
We did.
TV manufacturers making laptops. It's weird.
It's a topsy-turvy world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yesterday was press day, and there were a lot of really cool press conferences. I think my favorite, though, the Panasonic press conference. A lot of weird things going on. It was like a return of the 90s, right?
Yeah, it was a throwback.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but by the way, it's really nice to have more than 2 people in the audience
Yeah,
today.
this is great.
It's really interesting
This is
to actually
fantastic.
talk to people. So yeah, yesterday Panasonic announced their new social televisions in conjunction with MySpace. When was the last time you even heard those 2 words together?
I don't know.
Weird.
It's been a
right?
while.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised that you would use the word MySpace in anything that's supposed to be buzzworthy.
Yeah, usually it's like, remember MySpace. Oh, like, oh, that happened a while ago.
Right.
Not
Well,
like,
how
oh,
to
this
get
is
rid
new.
of your MySpace.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we've seen social televisions before, but Panasonic, they didn't release a lot of details about it, but basically you're going to be able to sort of tell your friends on the TV what you're watching on the TV.
You probably don't want to do that, though, right? Well, I probably don't want to do that either. A lot of guys probably wouldn't want to know or wouldn't want to share everything that they're watching
Yeah,
on the
that's
television.
Sure, everything you watch on your TV is sort of your own personal experience, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how willing a lot of people will be to share that information.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I watch a lot of Cartoon Network, Wilson. I don't know what you're referring to here. But what was really cool is at the end, they had kind of like a one last thing moment where they brought out a celebrity to promote MySpace TV on Panasonic.
Right.
That's Justin Timberlake.
How about that, man?
He came out to a very quiet audience. Nobody seemed to care that Justin... If I was there, I would have been screaming in the front row.
Well, you would have thrown
yeah.
your panties up there. You were just
Come on, man. What's going on today with this, Wilson? You're blowing me up here. Anyway, yeah. So Justin is apparently bringing MySpace back single-handedly. Is that something you guys would?
Well,
be
you know,
into?
I was talking to Rafe Needleman about this.
Yeah.
And, like, MySpace should just stick to what it originally was. And that was, like, something that bands could, you know, get into
Right.
and really, like, continue to develop that further.
Right.
Nobody needs another social network. Nobody needs another video service.
Right.
Especially one that's full of crap so far, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like the MySpace TV, that's the sort of thing. I feel like they should have like the MySpace, you know, like music player or something like that. Because that's
Right.
what I associate MySpace with.
Yeah.
That's how I listen to, you know, quote unquote, undiscovered bands and whatnot.
Yeah.
I really don't associate MySpace with TV ever.
Well, you
but
know,
that's fine.
Sort of in that same vein, last night I was at Digital Experience and I got
Right.
to see a television set
Sure.
that I think arguably is cooler than a MySpace TV, and that was a TV set with BitTorrent built right in.
Okay.
I don't know how they managed to do this.
It's just
Yeah.
going to spit out citations every time I download something.
You just buy it and you go to jail.
Right.
But no, apparently BitTorrent has gotten together with a bunch of European and Asian manufacturers.
Okay.
And they've built the technology right into the TV set.
Right.
I haven't searched for anything sort of you know, illegal or where someone doesn't own the copyright to it. But I feel like it's sort of like really taking that removing that middle step.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Admit, you know, people won't admit it, but they'll torrent something,
Mhm.
and then they have to hook their computer up, or they have to, you know, get a player that plays the MP4.
This is just
the
bypassing
weird-
the whole thing, making
bypassing
it
the whole
easier
thing,
for you know.
straight from the remote. You'll be able to search for Lost, you know,
Right.
whatever.
That's a dangerous combination
You
for
know,
me.
as long as it's not in 3D, that's all I care about. I just want to hear about one TV announcement that's not in 3D.
That's not in
Actually,
3D.
going back to the Panasonic news, they announced that this summer, you know, the Summer Olympics in London, they're
Right.
going to be broadcasting that in 3D. That's the first time in the Olympics they've
Well,
ever
they've
been
all been
broadcast.
in 3D. Now it's just going to be in 3D.
Yeah, you
on
can
your
watch it
television.
on
That'd be
3D.
nice. I
Not sure the
appreciate it.
Summer Olympics. I don't know. Do I really want to watch men's weightlifting
Right.
in 3D?
Or like the shot put.
Yeah, like ping pong, yes. Like men's table tennis, women's
Sure.
table. Yeah, definitely
I would-
want to watch
I would dig
that.
that, yeah.
I don't know about.
Not so sure about the
synchronized
javelin
swimming. Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Right, right,
Well, is
absolutely.
it one of those things that really just going to hurt the Olympic brand? at the
No,
end
I
of the
don't
day?
think so. I think.
Well, I mean, like people tune into the Olympics. There's a lot of national pride.
Yeah.
If suddenly a lot of people start watching it on their HD 3D TVs,
Yeah.
and they get nauseous cheering for their team, I don't know if that's a good thing for.
All right, Noah, you're the only one that gets nauseous watching
I am
3D.
not
You guys
the
want to
only one
hear
to
a
get
story to our
nauseous.
live audience? Wilson was watching. What were you watching?
I was watching an African documentary.
Right, and he got nauseous after what 6 seconds of watching 3D television.
Yeah. And I threw up on the train on the way home.
Did you? I didn't
So
know
that was
that.
fun.
That's gross. All right,
It's
let's
like
move
working with a
along.
10-year-old.
What else do we have going on? Apparently, there's a hand crank powered tablet that is debuting here at CES.
Yep.
So
That's
this
right.
is the third version of the this project has been going on for years now. It's called the One Laptop Per Child.
Yep.
It kind of almost gave birth a bit in a way to the netbook revolution.
Right.
It's supposed to be a super low cost PC that
Sure.
could connect to the internet, have Wikipedia built in.
Right.
And after netbooks took off, nobody really had a good reason to buy one laptop per child. And now they're also behind it in a bit with this new product. It's a tablet.
Yeah, so
right?
this tablet's called the XO 3.0. Like you said, it's the third version. It's going to have an 8-inch screen. You're going to have your options of 2 operating systems to put on it. That's Android and then a Linux-based operating system. Here's my question, though. Why didn't they just give away touchpads? I think that's what they would should have
Probably a
done.
cheaper
I mean,
option.
they're gonna cost about $100
Yeah.
per tablet.
Uh-huh.
For that price, you probably could have just sent over a 16-gig touchpad, which is what I use at home. Perfectly good. You wouldn't have to manufacture
For
all
sure,
these
and
things.
you're not left behind at all.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, a little bit, about a year behind.
Well,
Yeah, but you imagine a bunch of kids, the first thing they're going to do is like root it or
Right.
be really upset.
I think they're
Really?
just psyched to have a tablet. I'm not
Yeah.
thinking about rooting.
Yeah,
stuff
all
like
jokes
that.
aside, this is actually a really cool product.
Absolutely.
The hand crank you mentioned is used to power the solar energy power on the battery on it, and you just crank it up or put it in the sun, and it'll charge your battery for 8 hours.
Interesting.
Well, speaking of sort of non-3D HD TV tech that finally is sort of taking off,
Right.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
That was the high-speed data connector, mostly available on Mac so far. There have been 1 or 2 other computers that have variants of it, but the connectors and the adapters and everything that you could get for Thunderbolt was really freaking expensive.
Right.
Right? Like they're a couple $100, but now manufacturers are starting to release new products that really take advantage of that.
Yep.
And Intel has said that they're building Thunderbolt into their Ivy Bridge processors, which will debut actually not now, but in the next half of the year.
Right, which is why in a blog on our own CNET's Crave, you can go to crave.cnet.com and read Scott Stein's blog about why you should maybe hold off on buying a laptop. One of the reasons he said that is because a lot of drives are coming later this year
Sure.
in the summertime that'll actually have Thunderbolt ports built in. Right now, you don't have anything to access those drives.
I don't understand why they can't line up that whole laptop release schedule
They
with
should really start
CES.
talking to each
They
other.
should maybe sync that up because
Yeah.
it seems like you come to CES and you're looking for the latest and greatest,
Yeah.
and then they're like, no, we don't have that. That's going
Right.
to be a little later on.
I mean, it really is a good point. Like, there's a huge onslaught of ultrabooks,
Right.
but they're going to be quickly replaced with brand new processor technology,
Sure.
a lot faster to a point where you can get some real heavy-duty work done on them.
Right.
And the batteries are going to last forever, essentially.
Now, what's really cool though is that I was walking the floor earlier today, and there's a new drive that came out at the show called the Elgato.
Uh-huh.
That's a solid-state drive that
Yeah.
has a Thunderbolt port on it, and it's self-powered by the bus. So now you can attach that to just a drive. You won't need an external battery source, and it'll power itself.
Well, I really think we're getting to a point where Thunderbolt, in a lot of ways, is finally going to be able to fulfill its promise.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think the coolest thing is the Apple Thunderbolt display. Like you like to carry your computer around, you go to a meeting, you want to sit and write in the park,
Right.
but when you get back home and you actually need to do some heavy duty work on a much bigger screen,
Right.
you just plug that one, bad boy in. Now you got your gigabit Ethernet, you've
For
got
sure.
all these FireWire ports. It becomes like a fully functional computer.
Right.
Not to mention the 10 gigabit transfer speeds, right?
Yeah, super fast. Beyond that, there have been a couple of big, product announcements over here at, CES. Big one that's on a lot of Android phones that we've seen is this new Gorilla Glass.
Yeah, and this is something I'm really psyched about because I feel like every cell phone, everything I've ever owned, has always just eaten it totally. A week later, I look at my new phone and it's just scratched to all hell. I feel like now that this new and improved Gorilla Glass 2, they were throwing. I heard they were throwing them against the wall. Right? Is that what they were demoing?
Yeah.
They were like literally having people stampede over, stuff like that.
Right.
Just to prove how scratch resistant that stuff is.
Just to prove how careless people really are.
Right. Yeah.
with
Be like,
their
oh, you'll
phones.
probably
encounter a some
Yeah,
kind
you'll
of
drop your phone off in the middle of the street and a
actual-
dump truck will run over it. And this is what's gonna have to.
I was thinking they should just do a product demo right behind the stage over this ledge and just start dropping phones.
Right.
Not
Just
letting
sort
people
of
know.
letting them go and seeing what happens.
It's raining
Seeing
really
with the display.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, I think
We're going to take a little break.
take a little break. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have Kevin Pierre from G4 on the second half of the show.
He's
But-
supposed to be here somewhere. I don't know where he is,
Yeah.
but maybe he's on his way.
We'll find him.
Okay, we'll find that out. And then we'll be doing a couple giveaways with everyone who's here. So if you want something for free and you like free stuff, like everyone does, you'll want to stick around. We're going to give a lot of stuff away in the next segment.
Cool.
All right, so we will be right back.
This is the 404 MRFers, the show where we all sing songs.
All right, welcome back to the 404, streaming live from CES 2012. We're very excited to welcome our guest. for the-
Contain that excitement
Yes.
because they're spilling out over the crowd. I can't even hear you over their uproarious applause. Thank you guys so
Right?
much. Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, give it up for Kevin
Please,
Pereira
really.
from G4. Come
I
on, a round of
mean,
applause for Kevin.
It's okay. Thank you.
It's-
3 people there
Is
and
there-
one guy over there has no idea who I am.
It's
but thank
almost
you.
like they don't even see us. It's unbelievable.
Look, I don't mean to cast such giant shadows over this beautiful set, but
we
no one
really
knows. No one knows.
appreciate you being here, man.
I always love being here, man.
Yeah.
This is my yearly pilgrimage,
Yeah, this
not just
is
to
like-
CES, but to this table right here. So-
Absolutely. It's becoming an annual sort of tradition.
We got to break it immediately. This is
Absolutely.
terrible for everybody involved.
You take care. We'll be, no. So, how long have you been here?
3.5 minutes or so since getting mic'd up, but at
Oh, okay.
CES,
At CES.
several years now. I don't.
Yeah.
They were asking me what my first year of coverage was, and I don't remember. But
Oh,
I'm
that's a
sure
bad sign.
3D was the next big thing when I was here,
Right.
and it still is. Probably 6 to 7 years later.
Forever.
Yeah.
Has
So,
anything that you've seen so far really captured your attention? Or I mean,
You know, I honestly haven't had a chance to catch much yet. I'm an audiophile, so
Right.
I love new audio technology. I love that noise cancellation is finally getting good, where it doesn't muddy up the actual
Sure.
sounds you're trying to hear.
Yeah.
And they're taking, headphone manufacturers are putting multiple drivers in headsets. It's not just one speaker that
Right.
bumps
Right.
and you lose all the resolution.
Did
So-
you have a chance to go check out Monster's new set of glorified headbands and necklaces?
What? No.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
But are they
Apparently
shielded
happen to
from
play
microwave
music.
interference? Do they cost $1,000?
Yeah, they're going to cost a lot of
They're
money.
monster branded. No, I saw Parrot has a set that sort of uses the jaw movement sensing technology plus
Right.
3 microphones built in to handle ambient noise cancellation when you're talking and listening.
Right.
That's a lot of technology there. Plus, you can do volume up or down by swiping the side of the headphones that are
Oh, that's
wireless.
cool.
Oh,
Skip
okay.
through tracks as well. It's going to be hours of listening time. I mean, it's headphones, yes, but the technology's getting better, and I like that. And it's here. It's not the promise of, in 5 years,
Right.
this
Right.
thing will do this thing.
They're delivering it
They're
now,
delivering
right,
it, yeah.
right.
And I feel like that's a big shift just in general this year. Now it's like really, really, really cool to
Yeah.
go down the street and tell people what kind of headphones you have.
Right.
Just laying down the street, like I get stopped and sometimes I'll be testing like a new Soul headphone, and people will just ask me, hey, how do they sound? Really, I feel like there's 2 kinds of audiophiles. One, the guy who wants the bass as loud as possible where it won't blow his eardrum.
Yeah. Right.
And then the other one is the one who really wants like high fidelity audio.
Sure.
And that's where like the difficulty is in the middle, right? Like you want, and I'm the latter guy. I'm the guy who wants to know what it sounds like when they mixed it in the studio.
Right.
Versus like the bass being so high, I can't even hear the words that are in the song.
Right.
Wilson also thinks he's getting stopped because people are impressed by his headphones. They're just very ugly. Everything you wear is just disgusting. So you're like, oh my
Monitor
god,
duct taped
terrible.
around your head.
That's absolutely
that?
terrible.
It's just 2 speakers
They're
glued.
like, what's
right?
wrong with you, sir? Oh, all right. Tell me about your unfortunate looking product. All right, so very cool. So headphones definitely a big deal at the show so far.
Yeah.
I think it's time we get into one of our segments. And if Kevin, if you would like to participate, that'd be awesome.
A chance to talk? Yeah.
A chance to speak.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we tried doing this yesterday. We're calling it New Year's Tech Resolutions. Obviously, CES starting off the year on the right foot. We kind of want to break maybe some bad habits that maybe we've gotten into the habit of doing on a regular basis.
Right.
So my personal tech resolution for 2012, I'm going to stop collecting meaningless wires and USB sticks and just every freaking adapter you've ever seen. I have a
You gotta have a drawer or a case
Yes,
or an ammo
sure.
crate filled that looks like knotted Christmas lights,
yes.
right?
I went to the Container Store and got this huge plastic bin. I had 30 pounds.
The Container Store or the Hoarder's Emporium.
And I show people this bin and they go, oh my God, Jeff, where's TLC? They need to come and do a
You
documentary.
got the
on
old
it."
RF switchers for
Yeah.
to hook up your Nintendo
Exactly.
Entertainment
Yeah.
System.
Like, what am I gonna need that
Like,
for?
yeah.
What am I gonna need that for?
You keep like the parallel port cables. Like
Yeah,
the
I have an old
thick ones,
printer.
right? Like
Parallel-
Like when are
Well,
you
you
ever
never
gonna
know.
use
You
it?
might, travel back in time.
Does he
15
might
years.
come back into fashion,
You
man.
never
It's
know.
like the new retro,
I
bro.
said
You
it
gotta
went
have
down
that.
too early. Okay, so that's my personal resolution.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna give them away? Are you gonna burn them?
I don't know. I
Just
there's
sell them
like-
back to Radio Shack where they came from.
I am Radio Shack. I
Exactly.
am Radio Shack. That's what happened. That's
You
the problem.
open your own one on the
And it
corner.
just spews out. It's like a
Snake in a jar?
It's like a confetti of just all these different wires and
It's
cables.
also funny. It's like a trip back in history, though. Sometimes
Yeah.
when you're like,
It's a time
where the
capsule,
hell
yeah.
did I get this?
Right.
Where does it go to?
For
oh,
sure.
that
Back in my
POS.
day, it was LPT1, and you jam it in, and brackets would close. No.
I just convinced myself, hey, one day I'm gonna need this. I
Yeah.
gotta hold on
Yeah.
to it. Is there anything?
So do people that collect cats,
Right.
dead or alive. I'm just saying.
Just stuff fuzzy
It's
in the
exact
drawer
same
there.
mentality. So
Yeah.
I kudos on
I have a
dodging that
problem.
one.
Good
Yeah.
thing these wires don't leave anything behind
Exactly.
them, thankfully. Is there anything that you're looking to change for your personal tech life in 2012?
Yeah, I was just thinking just now. I gotta leave. Is there any sponsors I need to be aware of?
No, just Stanley Ware. Just Stanley Ware.
AT&T, man.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
It's Stockholm syndrome at this point. I'm a battered customer.
Right.
I feel nauseous whenever
Sure.
I pay the monthly fee
Yeah.
for drop calls and
Yes.
I haven't been able to check my email in like a day and a half,
Yeah.
except
Oh,
back
yeah.
at the hotel on the Wi-Fi.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's insane to me that here we are surrounded by the latest and greatest technology, and they're trying to say we're going to stream multimedia to the car.
Yeah.
I can't get a text message.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you're doing anything else.
Yeah,
So
I saw outside AT&T is actually sponsoring the payphone Brian, outside of the conference right now.
AT&T presents the landline.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
Hardwire.
Yeah, AT&T, we promise we won't hurt you this year. So I got to get rid of them. And then the other thing is that I pride myself on, again, I'm an audiophile. I like high-def graphics.
Sure.
I got to have the latest and greatest. And yet, for some reason, I'll spend money to go out of my way to have a seed box in Lithuania so I can get BitTorrents of low-quality Xvid movies that are probably available on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I have this great setup. Look at this 7.1 surround sound and high-def graphics, and I'm watching
Mono.
yeah, I'm watching a cam rip from a theater as somebody walks in front of the frame because I feel entitled, like I shouldn't have to pay for it.
Right.
Yet I'm paying $30 a month for a seed box.
Right.
It's insane.
Sure.
I need to stop
All right,
that.
it's your own personal demons you got about.
Yeah,
like that.
I gotta,
All right.
I gotta do that.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
What about you guys?
Good luck with that in 2012. What was my oh, I liked yours actually. Yours yesterday you were saying you wanted to stop labeling people random descriptions. in your cell phone.
I have a habit of renaming people in my contact book.
Yeah.
Things that maybe shouldn't be said aloud, and someone wants to borrow my phone and find out that I've labeled them something just awful.
What is Kevin in your book?
That's
what I want to
we
know.
haven't reached that point in our relationship.
Okay,
yet,
all right.
so
I was
that
saying
will
for
happen.
me and Justin, it was Asian and other Asian.
Yeah,
Right.
Just the two guys that A1, A2. That's how it works for us.
You know.
All right, let's switch gears and do another segment that we're calling. This is a little up close and personal. I think I spilled too many beans with the resolution of the year, but now let's get into something I'm calling Tech Confessions. All right, so Tech Confessions. You like that, Kevin?
Can I
what's wrong?
confess that I would pay monthly for access to videos like that? Is that a tech confession?
We can arrange that after the show, sir. Don't you worry about that. So, Tech Confessions, I believe, Justin, you have a Tech Confession you want to share with us.
It's going to be hard for me right now. You know, it took me a long time, but I think it'll help that I'm saying it in front of a huge audience
It's
right
a
here,
big
in front of
deal.
Kevin. So my confession is that I still record music off the radio onto cassette. I still do it. I have literally hundreds of boxes, Nike shoe boxes of Maxell cassette tapes. Look at the way we're staring at me right now. It's true.
Wait a minute. There's
it-
music on the radio?
Yeah, there's a thing called radio, and they broadcast free music onto it.
Taking off his
I was
mask.
about to walk
Leave
out
it.
of here.
I'm not talking to you guys.
What is it that you can't, that you clear channel, you have to get it,
I haven't-
versus iTunes or Spotify?
I haven't figured out how to do this downloading thing off the internet yet, so it's so easy for me to just hit that record button on my boombox, and then I label
a
them.
boombox?
Yeah, there's
That
a lot of
belongs with
retro
his
tech.
cables.
Yeah, man. I'm not even that bad.
Let's open up a museum. How about that?
What's
Let's put all that
upsetting
stuff in
though
there.
it's not even one boombox.
Yeah.
You've got the two next to each other, one
Right.
with the record and one actually with a radio tuned in, right?
Well, it's nice because then I can make cassette tape mixes, you know, I can label them like, now that's what Justin calls
Kevin
music.
is losing his crap right now.
I mean, if you were...
It's free. Cassette tapes are cheap.
Everything's free. It's not an argument anymore. Just in case, in case someone invents a time machine, yes, then
Yeah.
you can
Right.
go back to the 80s and be relevant. But that's, I like that if that's a hobby, like you just happen to listen
Kevin,
and
did,
record.
did
but
you actually do that, like when you were younger, like
record things off the radio?
Yeah, record
Maybe a Howard Stern episode or two
Right.
when I shouldn't have been listening, so
Sure.
that I could kind of record it at a low
Yeah.
volume and listen later.
Right.
But no, I wasn't big like that. I didn't really.
No,
do that.
I mean, Justin's still doing it, but I think we had this group of tapes where like you'd have some track on there, and then you'd have your mom screaming in the background.
Right. Shut up! I got Green
Do
Day's
you-
on the radio.
Now, so once you have a mixtape, do you then encode it and dial up to a bulletin board system somewhere in somebody's garage to post it in their file section?
Yeah, it's all
It's
cataloged.
full
Very
throwback.
well, yeah.
He still has
exactly.
his
It's the whole
Prodigy account,
ecosystem. Well, that's my confession.
That is a pretty terrible,
It's pretty
terrifying.
pathetic, I
What-
know.
Kev, is there anything that you would like to disclose with our live audience and people
No,
watching?
I mean, to me, it was. The seed box thing is something I really got to kick. I
Yeah.
got to get rid of that. No, I don't. I'm pretty upfront about my. It's not like a. All right, I used to be the
Here
guy
we
that
go.
would, I'm sitting down for a dinner, a meal, or whatever.
Sure.
I haven't seen you in a long time. The phone would come out and it would be face up, and any
Oh.
little distraction, or I'd constantly hit the home button looking for. I'm not connecting with people.
Right,
I don't
right,
do that. It's, did you say something interesting? Let me see if you said it in a tweet. And then we go back
It's
to
the
that.
only way I can digest
So I'm
that.
trying to get rid of that and get through that because I find that so many friendships that I have with people that I truly feel like are good friends with, it'd be,
Right.
hey, did you see that thing that I tweeted? Yeah, I did. Cool. And that's the entire discussion.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the article was or the
Sure,
photo was or
right.
the experience. It was just, oh, did you see it?
Right.
Well, great. So that's my confession. I'm guilty of doing that, and
Yeah.
I want to try to get away from that.
Yeah.
This guy too. Bad news. Okay?
Yeah,
Wilson
yeah,
does that
no.
too.
That was my resolution actually, that I would finally start looking people in the eye
Right.
when I'm having a conversation with them instead of looking at my iPhone. the whole
I'm
time.
going to lock eyes with people this year. That is something that I really
for the
want to
human
get going.
touch.
Absolutely. So I think we're ready for another break, and then when we come back, we're going to be getting a few people from our live audience here to participate in a brand new game that Justin spent 3 minutes developing. Wow. All right.
A lot of preparation on
All
this
right.
show.
Well, he's playing Farmville right now.
Hey-oh!
You got it right
All right.
on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, so we're going to do that and give the audience a chance to win a really cool prize, a CNET sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And a mixtape.
And a personal Justin Mew. Now that's what Justin calls music mixtape. We're going to see you right after the break for that contest. We'll be right back.
Now that's what Justin calls music.
The 404.
Yeah. Alright, press record on the boombox. This one.
All right, welcome back to the 404 streaming live from CES 2012. It's game show time.
That's
We've
right.
developed a very cool contest for people to partake in. What we're going to be doing is something we're called Blech Sting.
Blech
all right?
Sting.
And that's blind texting.
Yeah, so this is going to be an updated version of that game Telephone, which I looked it up on Wikipedia. Apparently it's also called Chinese Whispers. That sounds a little bit
That's news to me.
cool to me.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
So we have Ray,
This sounds like
Nathan.
an Adam and Eve special of the week. Like, I'll impulse buy the Chinese Whispers box set.
I think I watched that on TV last night.
So what we're going to ask you guys to do is take out your smartphones, and we're going to read you a sentence. Now, without looking at your phone, you must text this sentence. All right? Whoever comes closest to getting it correct will win this awesome CNET hoodie that's got earbuds built into the drawstrings.
Right.
Okay? I don't know how they did this, but they did it. Okay?
And to make sure that you're not looking at your cell phones, we're going to put these CNET TV T-shirts over your faces.
If that's okay with you guys. Can we just put these over your faces?
It's okay. I
Don't
like that
worry.
you get consent live. We could have asked
Just
us during
sign
the
your
break,
name
but no,
right
is it
here.
cool? And
We're gonna put these burlap sacks over
Yeah,
your
exactly.
head. Don't worry about
These
it.
are connected to a car battery. We're
All
gonna
right,
hand these to you.
so if you want to pass these out down to our three
There you
lovely
go, Ray.
contestants
All
here.
right, go
All
ahead
right.
and cover your
So
neck.
Megan, Nathan, and Ray, get ready.
Yeah, get into the texting app.
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
We should be
Yeah,
ready.
that's the first
so if you
step.
want to open up like a blank text or something, you do that first before you're blindfolded. You have to. That would be tough. That would be really tough.
Obviously, you're at CES, so we think that you're pretty tech savvy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see if you got, any
All right.
blind texting.
It's
So
so
you
weird
guys
though,
ready?
texting without a steering wheel.
Right, yeah.
So
Don't
weird.
try this at home is what we really want to get the message across here. So when you guys are all ready to go, and you don't have to cover your set, we'll trust you guys look at us, okay?
Yeah, we
Now
need
the
eye
sentence
contact.
you're going to be texting.
All right,
is-
look straight at us.
Look
right?
at us. The sentence you'll be texting is the.
Hey,
Hey,
look.
you got it? All right. That's actually even better.
I thought Ray had a BlackBerry for a second. I was like, that'd be cheating, man. You have a keyboard on that thing.
So the sentence is the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Look at me.
Wow.
The
Look at me,
quick
no one look
brown
down.
fox jumped over the lazy dog.
I like we got a
Megan's
swiper.
feeling around.
We got a swiper.
Oh, you're we didn't.
That's
we didn't-
fine, yeah,
All
go
right.
on.
Good.
The quick brown fox. When you're done, give us your phones. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Ray's
That's
playing
every
Bejeweled.
letter
He's
in the
not even in the
alphabet.
ballpark. Ray's not even in the ballpark.
Ray accidentally
Wait,
opened
wait,
his
wait.
iPod application.
Okay.
Someone had extended
All right.
ASCII somehow.
So here we
typed.
go. All right.
All right, let's take a look at this.
Oh
Let's
my
compare.
God. Okay, so this
Wow.
is Nathan's. Nathan says, Ulf Verum fix jumped ice, he lazy rog. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Okay,
That's
we got
That's
a
not
lazy in
bad.
there.
That's actually a matter of applause for
Yeah,
Nathan.
that's
here.
better
is-
than what Ray did. Can you even read this? Riv wuguf sub dude
That's
All
not
right,
bad.
all right.
And then
Yeah, exactly.
Megan.
That's
finished.
What did
Yeah.
Megan
Okay,
get?
Megan, who used the swipe keyboard, got Jati, such brown BBC degree C.
That's not
Celsius,
Celsius.
All right.
All right.
right.
It could've been
Judging
a
by
full
the,
body.
I think Nathan won.
Nathan is the winner. He
Jumped
got
is
the
the longest
most
word.
words.
Congratulations,
So
Nathan.
round
Well
of
done.
applause for Nathan, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan, you get this awesome hoodie, and you all can keep those T-shirts as well. Thank
We're
you so
gonna keep
much.
your phone.
Round of applause for our
Thank you, guys.
contestants here. Excellent
Yeah,
job.
thank you as well.
All right. Very
All right.
cool.
Take care,
Thanks a lot,
guys.
Very
man.
cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Nathan. All right. Oh, you can have your phone back. You can have your phone back. All right. That was awesome. That worked out.
I love it.
all right.
I highly recommend
What'd
if you have
think?
an iPhone or even I guess with Android devices, that use the text-to-speech feature
Yeah.
and sing it your favorite song as fast as you can and watch what Siri does with your lyrics.
Ooh.
Hilarious results will ensue.
All right, I'm gonna have to
Tomorrow,
try
I
that
like that.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
karaoke, I call it.
Karaoke. All right, very cool. So we've been doing something we're trying out here. You know, CES is a very busy landscape. It's tough to even tweet, right? We don't even have time to write down
Yeah.
140 characters. That's way too much. So we're introducing something that we're going to be doing, and we want everyone who's around here to retweet this for us. We're calling it our 404 Too Busy to Tweet, or for short, 2B2T.
2B2T. Yesterday's 2B2T was just the letter E. And you can interpret that any way you want, just
Right. So what is it today,
So
Justin?
today's 2B2T is LL. Now, Wilson, you want to explain what that means? Check this
Here
out.
goes
that.
Kevin right now.
That
He's
is
doing
actually
that.
coming
LL.
up.
He's
He only has
retweeting
time
it.
to do the LL.
You can follow that at the 404 for our 2B2T.
Remember hashtag 2B2T,
That's
hashtag
right.
CNET.
Yeah, there's
hashtag
more
CNET.
letters in the hashtag. That don't.
Just
You
my
can't.
head's
Yeah,
a lot
just
of
don't.
implosion right
Don't
here. What
worry
are-
about.
But the
all
reason
that.
why we want you to tweet LL is because LL Cool J is coming up onto the CNET stage in just a few minutes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So-
Jeff, do you know what LL Cool J stands for?
Okay, no, I read this one time. No.
I
I
don't
think,
know what Jeff knows.
I think it's ladies love, right?
Yeah.
Cool,
Cool
James.
Cool
Yeah.
James.
So-
There you
really?
go. Well done.
All right, yeah, look at
I
that.
didn't think you would do it.
Look at me,
Yeah,
man.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
What do I win?
Nothing.
Oh.
I like that you said it like a you win absolutely
Nothing.
nothing.
Oh,
All times
bunch of
supplier,
air.
0.
So LL Cool J is going to stop by this stage
Right.
after we get off at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Fantastic.
That's right.
All right. Cool.
So he'll be on with Brian Tong. Got a few more minutes. Let's talk to Kevin a little bit about what he thinks of what's coming up at CES.
What is coming up
And
at CES?
what are your plans? What do you have going
Well,
on?
I'm doing a metric ton of live coverage for Attack of the Show.
Right.
So I've been running around doing packages. We hit the digital experience pretty
Cool.
hard last night. Have you guys seen the Aurazm stuff?
No, what's
Real
that?
time. It's an app that you can go download now on iPhone or Android. It's sort of the promise of augmented reality.
Okay.
But it's actually being delivered now, and you can point it at a movie poster and the trailer will play, or point it at a concert poster,
Really?
tap
Okay.
it and get access to iTunes or Facebook.
Oh.
So it's really being used by marketing. But what I love about it is that within the app, which is free, and I'm not a paid spokesperson yet.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge,
But
nudge.
within the app, there's an SDK where you can create your own tags. So if someone out there had the app, they could tag this stage. It'll upload the image, or a fingerprint as they
Right.
call it, and then you can shoot your own video and tag it to the spot. You can download from a library of pre-selected like 3D animation, and you can make logos come to life.
Really?
You could have video play. Yeah, you could record a message and say, if you pointed at that CNET logo out in the crowd, your head will appear on it and start talking. It works. It actually works, and it works pretty well, and it's out now. It's
All right,
free.
well, you
So
sold me.
It really impressed me.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's got a ways to go, but,
Sure.
but that is the promise of the future of search.
Right.
Cool.
Where no longer have to look at a bottle and wonder what's the nutritional content, or
Right.
what is this beverage, that you point your phone at it, it's going to pop out in real-time display. When you're at a bar, they could throw out a coaster, you could point it at it, here are the drink specials.
Really?
Here's what we're known for, tap it, of course, yeah.
Well,
and
I
then
mean,
you get
I-
that into eyewear, and you're set.
And it's
Then
over.
it's Skynet!
It's over.
Yeah,
The
augmented
ultimate
reality,
metal.
when it first started coming out, we're starting to see it a lot more nowadays. That's when I realized that we're in the future.
Sure.
Like, that's what I knew.
The future is now.
Yeah, I went to the Lego store the other day. There's a Lego store that popped up in
Yeah.
Southern California, where I'm from, and they have a monitor with a webcam in it. If you hold the box of Legos up to it, it'll show you what the completed project will look like on top of the box you hold up.
Right.
It's insane. Like all the augmented reality stuff is
You
really
mentioned
cool.
SDK, and I'm looking forward to like that time when like people can develop things like X-ray vision, or
This guy's-
that falls into the creep category, and I think you fill that quite nicely. Yes.
I'll opt out just so I can get the growth of whatever it is you're using X-ray for. I think that's cool. I mean, little things like, look, of course, CES is always iterative. We always go, well, the screens
Sure.
are a little thinner, they're a little brighter,
Right.
they're a little whatever, and the promises from 3 years ago are on the floor today, and
Sure.
they work, and the promises of today, in 3 years' time, they'll be there from
And in
glass,
3D.
glassless
In
3D.
3D.
Yeah, exactly. That's always been the big thing. But I like the little innovations. I like a GPS dog collar that will alert you if your dog gets out of the yard and texts you.
Right.
I saw that last night.
Yeah.
Tag. Like, it's a simple little product, but that could be meaningful, and customers have already, bought that product, and it's saved animals. It's
Sure.
reunited families.
or,
That's cool.
Last night at Digital Experience, I got to see a lot more of what Fitbit is doing. And
Yes.
that's something that can really impact a lot of people in our
Sure.
community,
Yeah.
because we sit on our butts for 16 hours every day.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I want to track that. I want to track the complete lack of activity and cardiovascular endurance
It's just
in
this
my life.
steady horizontal line.
I like that. The notion that discrete tracking too.
Uh-huh.
That having to take a picture of your food for the Go bracelet or whatever. I mean, it's a novelty right
Sure.
now. But the notion that in a year time, 2 years time, that data will be automatically collected
Right.
without me having to think about it, and I'll be able to track my progress, set goals, compete with other friends on a fitness level. That might be the motivation that people need to keep going, or at least make healthier decisions. If a bracelet can vibrate as I'm reaching for,
Or shock
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Shock
exactly.
you.
Just give me a little jolt.
Zap, what's that, a French fry in
Yeah.
your shock? That's
Done.
it. It'll happen, definitely. So everyone should check out Attack of the Show.
Absolutely.
It's on weeknights at 7
Yep.
on G4.
On G4.
All right, make sure you check that out at 7 Eastern time, correct?
That's
Or-
correct, yes.
all right,
And
excellent.
online, g4tv.com.
Yes, sir. Follow Kevin on Twitter, K Pereira.
Yes.
All right, make sure you
Good
do
luck
that.
spelling that.
Yeah, enjoy all the vowels there. All right, and if you want to give us a call, we're all about audience interaction. If you're here at the show at CES 2012, come to our stage every day. 1 p.m. is when we're on. Tomorrow we're gonna have Eliza Dushku.
That's right.
Oh,
And we're
man.
gonna have Wayne Brady.
Can I come back? Why didn't you bring me in the Elijah hour?
Well, I mean, they're gonna have a tough act to follow.
I
Let's
can
just leave it
recite
there.
Bring It On, start to finish. All
right.
It's cold in here. There must be some toros in the attic.
You've seen that every time. There you go. It's that show. Time out.
Yeah.
He's impressed.
I wish.
Most awesome dude at CES or outed. One of the two. I'll take it either way.
Either way, that's pretty good. The number to call us is 866-404-CNET. You can follow us on Twitter at the 404, and if you're still doing the email thing, that's cool too. The 404 at CNET.
What's the fax number?
We don't do that
Is there
anymore.
a carrier pigeon coordinates or a smoke signal place
Beeper
or
number that you can
semaphore?
text?
You know, yeah, we found, and the whole Morse code thing, done with that too. All right. So that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much to everyone. We really appreciate you checking our show out live, and we will be back tomorrow. Once again, big thanks to Kevin Pereira. Round of applause for Kevin Pereira.
Thank you for our audience.
All right.
Yeah.
And thank you to our audience. We will be back tomorrow. Take care. Until then, I'm Jeff Bacalar.
I'm Wilson Tang.
And I'm Justin Yu.
It's the 404 High Tech Lowbrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow.